Just watch the carbs that intake. Throw that processed food away. Yeah, yeah. Get low, get low, get low. Get low. On the carbs, on the carbs. Get high, get high, get high. Get high. Take the protein to the sky. Yeah, get low, 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 get low. On the carbs. Get low, 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 get low. On the carbs. Get low, get low, get low. Take the protein to the sky.
Hello, 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 everyone. So glad to see y'all in the building. Kendi K left a comment earlier. I don't know if she's still in here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Wellness with Lisa MBA. She left a comment earlier. Thank you so much. Mia is in the building. Cookie is in the building. Kim J. Sweet Healthy Life is in the building. Thank y'all for being here. I appreciate you. For those of you who may watch the replay, my name is Kim. I am on a weight loss journey. I'm also on Withdrawal 12.5, and I have a great interview tonight. Okay, so we're going to get started without any further ado. I'm going to bring Miss V, Real Journal Talk with V, to the platform. Hello, hello, hello. How are you?
Hi, how are you doing? I'm doing good.
I am doing good too. Cookie is saying Kim J. She's speaking. Let's see. We're going through the chat. Auntie Queen, yes, Nisi. I got up late last night. I got up late this morning hanging out with you and Felicia. Oh my gosh. Okay. Kim J says, I'm in the bushes, driving and listening. We appreciate you for being here. Let me say first to V, would you like me to call you V, or is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I
Yeah.
want to thank you for accepting this interview, being here, and letting us pick your GLP-1 brain.
Oh, thank you for having me. Yes.
Yes, I appreciate you so, so much. So let me see what's going on over here. People are speaking and people are coming in. And so, like I said, we're going to get started because I don't want to hold you up. Cookie said you watched the replay. Listen, I was working on the video and I went to sleep late. And when I crawled into bed, I had my TV on YouTube and I see Kim J and Felicia live. I was like, am I dreaming? But yeah, so yeah, I'm a night owl myself, but I don't want to keep you here, Miss V, because when I get on, sometimes when we get on these lives, we chit chatting and carrying on. So I don't want to take up too much of your time. I appreciate you again for showing up. But listen, everybody's excited, to see you and talk to you and about your weight loss journey. So let's dive in. I'm looking at my first question. Okay, so tell us, what was your life like before you started the GLP-1 journey? What did it look like for you?
So I would have to say, okay, so I started Zepbound 2025. So 5 or 6 years before that, um, pitiful.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and in what way?
I couldn't walk or stand for 5 minutes, so I couldn't leave the house. I was basically in the house. I couldn't stand to cook. I couldn't stand in the shower. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't go to the stores. So yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. And so you said you started with medication. I mean, with Zepbound, that's the medication that you started with. So, what was your highest weight, if we can ask?
So the highest that I've ever been was 218. Now, when I'm looking down, when I started Zepbound, of course, my scale, I
I
was
know.
204. But when I went to the doctor's office before she prescribed, I was at 211. So since we're going with the doctor's office, 211 was the number that I was when I started Zepbound.
Okay, and your height? What's your height?
5'6".
Okay. Okay. So, yeah, I had that situation too. My scale is about 3 pounds different from the doctor's office scale, but you know, I go with my scale. I need those three
I mean,
pounds to be.
me too.
I'm like, and she was like, that's fine, go with your scale because calibrations can be different. When
Correct.
she said that, I was like, okay, well, that's all I need to hear.
You have on clothes as well. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. It was somebody not too long ago, in my live. I think it was Saturday when I was cooking, and they said they literally take a change of clothes when they go to get on the scale at the doctor's office.
Oh,
I guess
interesting.
some lighter clothes.
Lighter clothes.
Yeah, I was like, I never thought about that. I don't know if I would do it, but I never thought about that. Okay, so your highest weight was 211 and you started Zepbound in 2025. Now,
Yes.
did you get diagnosed? Because I always hear people say Zepbound is allegedly for sleep apnea. Did you get diagnosed with sleep apnea or
So
your doctor
my
just.
doctor has me diagnosed as a class one obesity due to excessive calories with a BMI of 34 to 34.9, and mine at that time was 34.19.
Wow,
Hmm.
34.9. I mean,
So I was labeled as a class one obesity.
okay, because I was about to say 34. That doesn't sound like that's very high. You know?
34.19, and that puts you at the range for a class one. I
Okay.
don't know. I don't know the BMIs for the 2 and 3. I don't know that, but
Okay.
that's what's in my chart.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and every doctor is different. Hey to everyone that's
Hmm.
coming in. I see you, the Bossway, JC. I appreciate y'all for coming in. Wellness with Lisa, MBA. I appreciate you for coming in, everybody. So yeah, because I've never heard of like class one, class two obesity. You know, I needed an operation, and the doctor was saying, "Well, we need your BMI to be in the 40s before we consider it." So that's why I'm like, your BMI was at 34.
Hmm.
Oh, okay, so again, every place is different. So you started in 2025. When did you start, and how long have you been on Zepbound?
So I started March the 7th of 2025.
Hmm.
So my year will be coming up next month.
Okay,
Yeah.
and how much weight have you lost so far?
So mm, if we going by the doctor scale, uh, if you want it, roughly 58 pounds.
Oh, that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. Okay, so you've lost 58 pounds and you're coming up on a year. So, let's see. When did you hold on one second?
Mhm.
Do you track any calories, macros?
Interesting. So before I started Zepbound, the first January the 1st, of course, 2025, I
Mm-hmm.
decided I was going to start tracking what I eat, right? Because my goal was, I ate cookie. My goal was to lose 20 pounds before my birthday, which would have been last August. So I
Mm-hmm.
started tracking. But this month, I decided to challenge myself and trust myself and not track for this whole month.
Okay.
So yeah, but yes, for a whole year, I've been tracking my foods.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Do you count when you track, do you count like calories? What's your maximum calorie intake? What you count? You count your calories, your protein? Because I didn't even know anything about really tracking protein until I started, with getting more involved with this community.
So in January when I started, of course, I went and got me a food scale off of Amazon. And then I signed up for an app called My Net Diary. And so that's
Okay.
what I use for tracking. Of course, I don't remember what the website was called, where you could put in your measurements, your exercise, and it'll give you a rough estimate of what your calorie intake should be.
Hmm.
However, the app also did the same thing, My Net Diary. So it gave me like how much protein I'm supposed to have, calories, um, fiber,
Hmm.
everything that's in the app. So yeah.
Hmm. Lucy Grace just came in. She said, "Did someone say protein?" Yeah, she is the protein queen. Okay, the protein queen. Okay, somebody else. Cookie said she used that. My Net Diary. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
using my Fitness Pal, and it does the same thing. Tells you you can readjust it because I think it gave me like 2,100 calories, but I only do 1,850, even though
Mhm.
I theoretically don't count calories.
Mhm.
I mean, I do try to stay under that. That's not really a problem. I have
Mhm.
more problems with the carbs than the calories.
Okay.
Yep. So you do track. So what made you decide not to stop tracking, not to track anymore?
For this month. Okay. So if you are aware of, what's been going on with me, so of course last year, I was laid off, right? So eventually I will be stopping the Zepbound. So in my mind, because I'm always thinking,
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking I need to be able to make sure that what I have sustained for the whole year, as far
Mm-hmm.
as tracking my foods, making sure I'm getting the right calories in, and
Mm-hmm.
etc.,
Mm-hmm.
that I'll be able to continue to do it once I take that last shot, that last pen in November. So I want to test the waters. So yes, I'll be doing that this whole month to see what happens as far as if I was tracking correctly, because sometimes you may miss something here and there. So that is my goal for this month.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, I did hear you saying, about, you weren't working. Um, so okay, so you already know that after November you will not be on Zepbound anymore. So
Correct, correct. And that is how that is how I came up with my doctor and I. Let me make sure I say that. Came up with my schedule for how I was going to take my shots around August or September. Um,
okay,
if you
okay.
want,
So
yeah,
that led you to the underlying question of
yes,
why you
yes,
only take it once a month.
yes. That's how. Yes,
Excuse me.
yes, ma'am.
Excuse me. So had you
Bless
not
you.
been taking it once a month, you would have ran out sooner.
I didn't
Is that what
hear
you're
you.
saying?
It was a
I mean,
pause.
like,
I didn't hear it was a pause. What did you say?
I'm sorry. I said, had you not been taking it once a month, then you would have run out sooner.
Yes, yes. I would have. I think because I it's in this calendar. I think I would have ran out. Why I want to say September or October. That would have been my,
Okay, of this year.
last year.
Oh, wow.
Last year.
So when did you start doing the once a month?
Well, I started September. Let me see, August the 31st was my last day of doing the every
Week.
2 weeks.
Oh, you were doing every 2 weeks?
So, okay. So
Take
this,
your time because I want to hear
okay.
this. Take
So
your
this,
time.
okay. So I was always taking my injections weekly because that's how it's prescribed, right?
And that, yes, and that was in March when you started, correct?
Yes. So
Okay,
yes,
of 2025.
yes,
Okay.
ma'am. So from March all the way up to I want to say July, going taking it as normal. In
Mm-hmm.
July, around August, um, when I was working at this company, we
Mm-hmm.
received information that the medical plan was going to change. Medical plan, people done have over 30 something years, but it was changing. So when I looked up the medical plan, I was like, Zepbound is not on a formulary. I said, so that means this ain't going to be covered, right? So I was talking to my
Mm-hmm.
doctor, and and I was like, okay, so I need to make sure I have enough pens to carry me until my follow up with her, which would have been January of this year, right?
Okay.
And so
Okay.
what we did was, she was like, well, you could take it every 2 weeks. If for some reason you start to feel, real hungry, you haven't, had that
Food
feeling,
noise. Mm-hmm.
yes, then dial it back. So I started at 10 days because I was just, she said 10 to 14. So I was like, okay, let me try 10. So I did 10 and I realized I can go further. So then I went with the 14. And so then I did 14 days up until the ending of October. That's when I got laid off. So then
Mm.
in my chart, I was like, okay, there's not going to be any financial way I'm paying for this next year, regardless. So I want to make sure I'm able to titrate off of this medicine right, instead of
Mm.
just cold turkey. And so that's when she was like, well, do it once a month or 20, 21 or 28 days. So then I started 28 days. So October the 31st was my last day actually doing it every 2 weeks. And then I started every 28 days.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. This
Hmm.
is like phenomenal because you started in March,
Hmm.
around about July or August, you started every 2 weeks,
Hmm.
and then October, you started every month.
Hmm.
So let's go with July, August when you started every 2 weeks. Were you
Okay.
still losing, and or how much had you lost up until that point?
I was still losing. I was still losing. Um, I was still losing in July.
You know, she's a
Um,
journal person. I see you going to the notes. Y'all, them journals are coming in handy.
so this is my planner. Well, no, actually, in July I was still weekly. I was
Okay.
still weekly.
Thank you, losing it, Grace. Thank you.
Okay. So yes, I was still losing, averaging out 4 pounds a month.
Okay. Even
Yes,
when you were doing the 2 weeks, you were still averaging 4 pounds a month. Were
yes,
you exercising?
yes. I faithfully. Okay. So with the exercising, remember I was just telling you that I couldn't walk or
Yeah, that's
stand
what
for
I'm
more than
asking.
five
Yeah.
minutes.
Uh-huh.
So in January, before Zepbound was even in my vocabulary,
Mm-hmm.
my whole goal was I have to be able to walk. I have
Mm-hmm.
to be able to get up and do something,
Mm-hmm.
because the doctors, they didn't know what was wrong with me. They went to
Mm-hmm.
several doctors, MRI done, all kind of tests done. There was never an answer.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't walk on the walking pad, or the treadmill.
Mm-hmm.
So in January, my mind before I started Zipbound was I need to build endurance, strengthen my back so I can walk. So I
Mm-hmm.
started, I would say 2 times a week, trying to get in 30 minutes a day. So I had to build that 30 minutes up per day because when I was staying for a long period of time, it felt like my legs was falling up under me from up under me.
Mm-hmm.
So as I kept building that up in the whole month of January, I lost, like I said, 4 pounds. This is before Zipbound even
Right,
took
right.
place. So then when I went to my doctor in February, and if I'm not mistaken, somebody can comment in the chat. I think Zipbound came out what 2023. I think, I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
My doctor she was always telling me, "Oh, you need to lose a couple of pounds. Just lose a couple of pounds." But she never, mentioned anything about a GLP-1. Never. So
Okay.
I'm thinking in February when I went in, and she knew I had these problems with the walk in and all that stuff. She saw the excitement in my face, right? She was, she said,
Okay.
"Oh, I see you weigh 211." I was like, "No, I weigh 204. Y'all still wrong." And she
Okay.
was like, "Well, yeah, yeah, yeah." And then she looked back at her notes and she saw that my highest, since she's been my physician, was 218. So she saw that. And she was like, "So it looks like you kind of fluctuating between the weight." And I was
Mm-hmm.
telling her that I'm tracking, I was telling her I got the scale, I'm tracking what I'm eating, what kind of calories I'm, intaking. I was telling her that I'm finally able to build up endurance to be able to stand and walk a little bit longer on my walking pad.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was my main focus, period. Right.
Mm-hmm.
That was my main focus.
Sure.
Then
Absolutely.
then later on, I started doing some strength training to the
Mm-hmm.
best of my ability. That's all I
Mm-hmm.
can say. I started incorporating some strength training. But
Mm-hmm.
my whole focus for my health journey is to walk.
My
That's
goodness.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I'm not able to walk or stand, the weight's gonna come back regardless because I ain't getting no movement in.
Mm-hmm.
So that has always been my focus for my health journey.
Okay. Okay. Y'all forgive me. I'm looking right here at my phone, but my laptop is much bigger. So I can see the comments and what's going on. So I'm definitely here listening and engaged. But, those of you who know, I always have my laptop on the side. I'm looking at the comments. Cookie says, I tracked for 16 months, then stopped. Been winging it for 6 months. Still doing good in maintenance now. The tracking set me on the right course. Okay.
Okay.
So you were losing. Um, so let's just take a ballpark. I'm a retired math teacher. I'm a
I know.
numbers person. I'm trying to wrap my mind around. Okay, so you were taking every 2 weeks and then you went to every 28 days. Were you losing still when you did every 28 days?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
So you were still losing. So how, I mean, you were tracking during that time. What do
Hmm.
you attribute it to? Like, because a lot of us
Hmm.
who, if we miss a shot or some people get off, somebody's, and I don't know if this is true or not, somebody even said Oprah had, tried to get off and then she gained 20 pounds. What are you attributing to your ability to be able to, you know, um, increase the time that you take the medication and still don't gain any weight, don't reach a stall or anything, and still lose? Is there anything? Is there what's magical? Tell me.
There is nothing magical. Now, when I started, I started on, of course, the 2.5, and I was
Mhm.
on that for roughly 8 weeks, and then I went to the 5, and I've been on 5 ever since.
Oh wow.
I personally feel that I can go longer than 28 days on this 5. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because um, I have a slow digestive trend
Mhm.
um, for using the restroom. I don't, I'm not a doctor. I'm just
Mhm.
saying what I think. Um, I have a double whammy going against me, if
Okay.
you want to say it that way. So the average person, take away the GLP-1, right? Just take that out. The average
Okay.
person may go to the restroom every day, 2 times, 3 times a day, right? Right.
Okay. I got you. Yeah.
I could go a whole week or two without going to the restroom, right? And I think that came from when my gallbladder was removed, but I never was diagnosed until my doctor, the GI, did my first colonoscopy. And I'm just giving this example, so maybe this, because I know visual, you'll
Mhm.
get where I'm going with this. So when I had my first colonoscopy, well, of course it didn't go well, so I had to go
Mhm.
back the next year.
Mhm.
During that consult, he was like, "You have a slow digestive trend." I said, "Okay, what is that?" He said, "So you don't go to the restroom like normal people."
Right,
and
right.
it takes longer for you to go to the restroom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you got to come back next year and do another colonoscopy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we're going to have you to do a 2 day prep. So when I did that colonoscopy, I had to do the, what is it? Nitrine glycerin, the liquid that you get out of CVS to drink.
Oh, I
Um,
know what you're talking about. Magnesium citrate.
yes, yes. So I
Yes.
had to do that along with the prep. Now listen to what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying to you.
Mm-hmm.
And you know you can't eat when you do them colonoscopies. You can have some
Okay.
broth, and that's about it, right? If you
Mm-hmm.
follow the instructions because you want to do good on your colonoscopy,
Right,
and make
right.
sure, so you won't have to do it over Lord willing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when I woke up, I was like, yeah, this good. 10 years, I'm good. I see his little face, and he tell me everything look good, but I need you to come back in 5 years. And I say, well, why I'm come back in 5 years? He said it was still that much stool in your colon. So you see where I'm going with this.
I
I
do.
think because I have a slow digestive for using the restroom, and then we know the GLP-1 holds you up, with your food and it can cause constipation. I don't know how I'm going 28 days. I don't know, but I know that right now I feel in my heart I can go longer than 28 days.
Okay,
I just
so
think that's the only rationale I can come up with because I'm doing
well,
everything that I hear a lot of people doing, walking, water intake, watching a calorie intake. There's nothing different that I'm doing, nothing at all.
well, and of course, I'm not a doctor, none of that. I'm just listening to what you're saying and processing because I mean, when I first started on Mounjaro 2.5, that was the first thing that hit me was the constipation. I
Hmm.
mean, we know that the GLP-1 slows down our digestive system, period. So, you know, the constipation to me would make it seem like you really wouldn't gain weight, because you're still holding on to everything you've eaten. You see what I'm saying?
You talking about
But
losing
again,
weight? You talking about losing or gaining? Which one?
I'm talking about losing. Like,
Losing.
yeah, because if, you know, again, I'm just my finite mind is trying to make some logic. Like if you so for example, for me, when in the beginning when I was constipated, I mean, once, like you said, it's the magnesium citrate, once I get all of that and get my system cleaned out and cleared out, I done lost about a couple pounds.
Hmm.
You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And
Yeah, that's the
so,
same with me.
okay,
On the
okay.
week when on the weeks, like when I do my weigh-ins,
Mm-hmm.
um, now that I do it like monthly, but when I was doing my weigh-in, I always would show where, because I track my when I go to the restroom on an app called PCal, so I
Mm-hmm.
track it. The weeks
Mm-hmm.
when I barely went to the restroom, like maybe 3 days in,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't lose, but then that following week, I lost, right,
Mm-hmm.
and that's basically because I went to the restroom. So
Yes,
that's
yes.
and the only reason why I'm saying I don't know if that's why I can go 28 days or plus. I just think that's the only difference from what I am hearing people share when they share their journeys. That's the only difference that I'm hearing. I haven't heard anybody say it on their channels. I haven't saw it in anybody's chat
Mm-hmm.
that they go through this as well. You know what I mean? As far as
Right,
with the
right, right.
digestion. So that's the only thing I can think of.
Mm-hmm.
But when I went to my doctor in January, just for my follow up and just, whatnot, she was surprised that I was still losing weight off of the 5 milligrams every
Yeah,
28 days.
yeah, that's phenomenal.
Yeah,
That's phenomenal. Somebody has a question. Losing the Grace says, "Do you have lymphedema?"
I do not.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Kim J says, "I remember you trying to just make sure you can carefully take steps to work your way up." Wow, wow.
Hmm. Yes.
That in and of itself is phenomenal. Okay, so you did have like a side effect of constipation. Maybe
Uh-huh.
not so much. No, you because that was something that you were already just a slow digestive system.
I think that's why I was saying earlier. I think I had a double whammy. I think I had because before GLP-1 Zepbound, I never was going to the restroom like that. I could go a
Mm-hmm.
whole week or two, and then I'm sitting in here saying, "Oh, I don't feel good." Oh, and then
Yeah.
my husband would say, "Well, did you go to the bathroom?" I say, "Oh, I don't know." And that's when I would start tracking when I go to the
Hmm.
restroom because I literally did not know when I went to the restroom. That's how
Yeah.
long I could go.
Yeah.
So
I'm not a
I'm
doctor.
saying, I'm literally saying with that, and then for some people, not everybody, that GLP-1 causes constipation. So I don't know. I don't
Hmm.
know. I just know that I'm doing 28 days, but in my heart of heart, I feel I can go longer than 28 days.
Okay. Okay. So, what other side effects did you experience?
So when I first started off, I had a little bit of nausea, but that was basically because I probably ate something I shouldn't have ate the night before.
Hmm.
Um, and what was the other one? Nausea, the constipation.
Take
I,
those
I
as a
think those
strength.
was the two. I think those
Uh,
was the two, nausea and constipation. Because with the nausea, my doctor prescribed Zofran
right.
just in
Mine
case
too.
to take it before I took the shot. But
Hmm.
then because you're tracking your foods and you know what you're eating, then when you have
Hmm.
the symptoms, you kind of put two and two together, and then that's
Hmm.
when I realized like if I ate a turkey burger um, the night before I gave my shot, then I may have an upset stomach. Even though turkey, you don't have a lot of grease from it, but
Right.
that it still has some grease. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
So
prefer turkey over beef. I've
yeah,
gotten used to, especially the ground turkey. It is an acquired taste, but I've gotten used to it now because it's lighter on you, lighter in your stomach, all of that. Kim J says, I tracked for about a year off and on, kicking and screaming. Needless to say, I had a love-hate relationship with doing it, but knew it was best, at least for the first year.
yeah,
Okay.
and that's the reason why I'm also doing that this month is because I started tracking in January last year. It's been a year. I eat the same foods, you know, so I
Oh,
know how my plate should look, right?
mm,
And then when I do have something takeout, I know um, how much I'm supposed to have of it takeout. So
okay.
I feel it. I feel like I have enough data. If I want to go back and research, I have enough data in the MyNet diary to um to say, look and see what this is. But yeah.
So you eat the same thing for breakfast every day, basically.
So well, it depends. On a good day, if it's not like waffles, pancakes, or grits with some turkey sausage or turkey bacon, then that could be every other day, right, for
Mm-hmm.
breakfast. If I'm not having that, then I would drink like a Premier protein shake.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and then
But you got it.
for dinner, because we don't eat pork in the house,
Mm-hmm.
um, we eat mostly chicken, turkey,
Mm-hmm.
and salmon, fish fillet. Um, I eat shrimp. They
Mm-hmm.
don't. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so you see, so it's the same type of meals for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Takeout, and see that's what got me, to be honest, is the takeout. Because when I started tracking before I started Zepbound, um, and I was so excited because I had this little MyNet diary app. I was just so excited doing my thing, trying to
Mm-hmm.
lose that 20 pounds that I was trying to, lose before my birthday in August of last year. And so on a Saturday, we was like, oh yeah, let's go to Show Mars. Yeah, let's get this. And
Mm-hmm.
so I went in the app and put in what I had, which was healthy, right? It was
Mm-hmm.
salmon meal, rice pilaf,
Mm-hmm.
but the okra wasn't healthy, but okra on the side,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that was over 1,000, like 1,100 and something calories. And I looked
Okay.
at my husband. I said, well, dang, this app saying I'm supposed to have 17, 1,800. I said, and what I'm going to do for dinner? That is when I realized I was consuming too many calories.
Yeah, yeah.
That is
That
when I realized
revelation,
it.
yeah, that
Yeah.
revelation is a biggie.
Mm-hmm.
First you have to come to the knowledge of okay, I'm consuming too many calories or too many carbs, especially in my case.
Mhm.
And then you have to process that, think about it, because it was nothing for me to go to Dunkin' Donuts, get my coffee and my two donuts, okay? And then I'm, move to Starbucks to get my hot caramel macchiato, my blueberry muffin,
Mhm.
and a muffin can be a lot of calories and a lot of
Mhm.
carbs, 50, 60 calories, I mean, 50 or 60 carbs. And, that's a lot of carbs to intake, like you say, and then drinking the carbs as well.
Mhm.
JC says, I was told I had a redundant colon too after my colonoscopy. I asked my doctor if it was a superpower. Oh my gosh. Paula says, I have to track to make sure I'm eating enough. Yeah, I don't think I've graduated to not tracking. I definitely have to track, just put it into my fitness pal to just give me an idea,
Yes.
especially on that carb and protein intake. Cookie says, oh, Paula, yep, that's okay. It was too cold. Wherever she is too cold to walk outside. People are talking about walking and being ready for the summer. And V, okay, so here's, I think, another question. Losing the Gray says, V, does it still take you 2 weeks to get a bowel movement?
Okay, so we can use what I tracked last week. So last week I went, I had 2 days, and my doctor, she told me if I hit the third day, I need to take a laxative because they put me on Linzess
Mm-hmm.
maybe a few months back to help with, having water in my colon. So they put me on
Mm-hmm.
Linzess.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it doesn't take the full 2 weeks, Grace. I would say I would probably go 2 times out the week. And we know that's not good. We know that you have all that food, that you need to release.
Two
So,
times out of 2 weeks or two
no,
times
two
in a
times
week?
a week. Two times
Okay.
a week.
Okay.
2 times a week.
Okay. I
Um,
mean, that's not bad.
but
I
two,
mean, compared to what you were saying, and I'm not a doctor, but I
oh,
was kind of
prior
like
to.
great losing the grace. Like, are you still going every 2 weeks? But if you're saying you're going twice a week, that's
But my doctor, she said that's still not good.
okay, okay.
That's why she was
Definitely
like
gotta
on the
listen to your
third,
doctor.
that she was like on the third day, you need to take a laxative
Mm-hmm.
if you don't go on that third day. And I don't know if that's because I've had so much side pain, right?
Mm.
And let me just add this. That is one of the main reasons she didn't move me up to the 7.5. That was one of the main
I'm
reasons.
sure. I'm
It
sure.
was that, and because she said you're losing on the 5, as long as you haven't had a stall, so to speak,
Right.
within a 4 week span. I think it was 4 weeks. Like if you lost something week one,
Mm-hmm.
then week two you didn't, then week three you turned around and lost, then week four you didn't. She wouldn't even recommend moving her patients up to the next level because that's technically not a stall, right?
Right.
Because you losing is alternate.
Right.
So that was one of the factors on why she didn't want to move me up to the 7.5, even though I didn't ask. That was her
Mm-hmm.
recommendation. But because of the GI, to not make the situation worse. So,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why I stayed on the 5. But I'm not a doctor. That's the only thing I can think of because,
Yeah.
even with me being on the 5, once the medicine got in my system good enough,
Mm-hmm.
and I hear a lot of people and I read a lot of comments where people say they start feeling hungry like maybe 2 days before their shot day.
Right.
I don't have those. I,
That's good. That's
yeah, I
good.
don't. And I think I just think all of it has something to do with all that stuff. That's the G. I don't know why. I'm not a doctor, but I just feel like some of that play a part, but I don't know. I don't
Do
know.
you do you take a probiotic? Like Activia or something like that?
No,
Okay.
I
Because
don't.
I know that for me, Activia, like a lot of people say it's not strong enough, but Activia definitely works for me. And I have found that even when you do have to take like that magnesium citrate and stuff like that, I
Mhm.
always come back with a probiotic because that stuff cleans everything out of your stomach. You know what I mean? And so
Okay.
I come back with that probiotic to put that good bacteria back in my stomach. But that's just what I do for myself because, like I said, I'm not a doctor or anything. Another thing that helps, with the appetite that you said you don't have like the food noise or 2 or 3 days before the shot. Now, surprisingly, I'm still on 12.5, and I put that in my last video. I've been taking an injection in my stomach, and surprisingly, the suppression is definitely stronger than it was in my thigh. Maybe it's just sometimes, I need to just change different areas or whatever. But I've been drinking tea and taking apple
Mhm.
cider vinegar. And anybody who knows anything about apple cider vinegar, for me, because
Mhm.
I'm not a doctor, it cuts my appetite tremendously.
And see, and
Have you
when
ever?
my doctor prescribed, the Zepbound, her recommendation for me was to only give my injections in my stomach. She said because that's where I have the most subcutaneous fat at. So
Oh
yeah,
wow.
she wanted,
Okay.
yeah, like if you could see like my arms,
Mm-hmm.
there's not a lot there
Mm-hmm.
on my thighs. So she said so that you just need to stick with your stomach. And
Okay.
so that was the instructions I was given on day one.
Okay. And some people, I'm going to ask you the next about your goal. Have you reached your goal, or are you in maintenance? Because that was a question I saw it right here. But some people just can't carry a lot of weight, like you were saying. You know, somebody might say, well, 211, 5'7" or 5'6", that wasn't really, a lot of weight. And like you said, your doctor said that was class one, but some people just can't carry
Mhm.
a lot of weight. My oldest daughter is like that. Like she puts on 30 pounds, she becomes really, really sick. And so, that might have been the case with you. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. but
You don't say
but
that on me.
I know, right? We have to. We have to. Because we're not giving
I know.
advice. Kim J has it rolling along the bottom of her live. I probably need to make one of those banners because I'm always talking about something. But so what was your goal? Wait, have you reached your goal? And do you consider yourself to be in maintenance? I know it's a three-part question.
I consider myself being in maintenance because when I first started the medicine, my doctor, I asked her, I said, so what would be a good, weight for myself, with my height and the BMI, but she didn't go by that chart. She just said she goes by how her patients feel physically. Can you walk
Mm-hmm.
better? Can you breathe better?
Mm-hmm.
How are you feeling physically?
Mm-hmm.
So after we had that discussion and I thought about it a little bit, I said, based off of my body structure and the last weight I was after I had my last son,
Mm-hmm.
I'm normally in that range. Well, it was 136, but I targeted 140 as where I
Okay.
wanted to be. But my doctor was like, oh, we'll reassess you when you get to 160. And then because I had all the life changing situations that happened last year, and once I hit under the 160, I'm in maintenance because as long as I know what I think may be happening this year, potentially, I will
Mm-hmm.
not be on Zepbound no more. So I'm in maintenance in my eyes.
Okay. Okay.
Now, with that being said, I would love to get to the 140 because I have that wiggle room. I know some people look at 5, 10 pound difference. But
Mm-hmm.
in my mind, if my doctor want to reassess me at 160, I'm at 140, I'm giving myself a 20 pounds. So
Mm-hmm.
that's just the way I was thinking. She wanted to look at 160. I want to be at 140. So we good. So, but yeah,
Okay.
I'm in maintenance because I'm taking the shot every 28 days. Um, I don't need to go over what she wanted to reassess me at. I don't need to go over that 160 at all
Mm-hmm.
because Like I said, I will potentially be off the medicine in November. Yeah.
Wow.
So I need to
So,
make sure that, and that's one of the reasons why I'm challenging myself to trust myself this month with not tracking. It's the same concept that when Traces of Twan, did the no scale for December.
mm-hmm,
That was basically trying to, challenging yourself to make sure if you doing right, you eating right, you exercising right, it shouldn't
mm-hmm.
matter if you step on the scale. Everything should even itself out, right?
Right,
So I
right.
had the same mindset before the first came in. I had the same mindset. I was like, well, dang, I should be able to say the same thing about the food scale. I know
Mm-hmm,
what I'm eating. I'm not doing no more, no less, right?
mm-hmm,
And I have a data history for a year of it. I
mm-hmm.
should be fine for this month. So that way, when I do step on the scale, it should be the same, equal up to 4 pounds a month. It shouldn't change. That's just
Okay.
what I'm thinking. That was the mindset I had for why I wanted to trust myself for this month, is because if I'm doing right, doing everything that I say I'm doing,
Mm-hmm.
it shouldn't matter if I'm weighing the food every day, because I already know how much protein I'm getting in, because like I said, the foods we eat, that
Mm-hmm.
throws the protein off the chart, in the app,
Okay.
because I don't have a problem with getting my protein because we are meat eaters in the home. Um,
Gotcha.
so I don't have a problem with that. The
Mm-hmm.
only time I would drink a Premier protein shake is if I didn't feel like fixing up for breakfast and I was like, oh, let me just get something so I can have something in my stomach, on my stomach.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so,
Okay.
so
Okay.
I'm in maintenance.
So, did you lose last month?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Um, Last month, so I don't have it all because I don't have my phone, but the week before the last of last month, I had weighed 153.8. But then when I weighed in the week of the 25th, I weighed 152.6. So I had lost a pound and 2 ounces.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I
Listen.
lose. The only time that, like I said, when the scale would not, I won't lose, is because of
The
the
constipation. Yeah.
mhm. But other than that,
Doses.
I'm losing every
That's
week.
good.
Other than
That's
that,
good.
yeah.
That's good. Of Shani, excuse me, Doses of Shani said I had that issue as well, 1 to 2 weeks without bowel movements. She said she had irritable bowel syndrome and
Okay.
constipation. Yeah, I suffered with constipation real bad in the beginning. I've heard, Kim J said, I've heard normally we should go a couple to a few times a day. Yes, that's in a perfect world. You're supposed to go literally after you eat, 20, 30 minutes. You know,
Hmm.
my Lorna does, depending on what she eats. As you eat meals, you should be able to go. Absolutely, Kim J. Not a doctor either. I used
Hmm.
to be that way before Mounjaro. Now, not as much. Yeah, some people will have to go to the bathroom. Like, you go out to dinner, you eat a good meal. That after
Hmm.
church dinner, whatever. They got to go to the bathroom. I
But
have
I
never.
realized
Go
that
ahead.
I didn't have this issue until after my gallbladder was removed. So I
Mm,
don't know if, that has something to do with it, but and that was over 25 something years ago. But
mm-hmm.
yeah, so I just don't know. But yeah, you should be going to the restroom more
Yeah.
than what I've been doing. Hmm.
And I'm looking at Doses of Shiny. She said you should go with every meal, but our foods are full of additives. She's a nurse, so it's
Hmm.
not going to happen for most. When I go out of the country, I go 2 to 3 times daily. So true. That's how I felt like on the cruise, eating that clean food, as Lucy
Hmm.
Grace calls it. The vegetables. There's not any preservatives seemingly in
Hmm.
that food, which I also felt that was why when Lucy Grace went on her cruise and she was just eating and enjoying her cruise,
Hmm.
she did not gain any weight. She
Hmm.
lost because, this processed food, your body doesn't know what to do with it. It doesn't know how to process processed food, so it stores it.
Yeah.
It stores it in my arms, it stores it everywhere. Like, I don't know what to
Yeah.
do with this. It's not giving me any vitamins or anything. So I'm gonna put this to the side until I figure it out. Now, honey, it's still been trying to figure it out. Let's see. Kim J says, I guess pooing just depends on the individual what is normal, but it should at least be a few times a week. Still not, doctor. I'm with you. You know,
Mhm.
I'm with you, V. Go for me. That's why I said that's not that bad. Because for me, going 2 to 3 times a week, if I can do that, I'm good. You
Mhm.
know, because and I'm on 12.5. So, but I still have to. It took a while. You know, people were like, take your fiber. You
Mhm.
know, and I still have to take my fiber, and I still the low gentle laxative. I take
Mhm.
one of those every day as part of my pills, you know,
Okay.
with the
Okay.
fiber, just to make sure that, you know, I don't get stiff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then if I still don't go, then I had to take another measure. Let's see. Cookie says, after taking Miralax, yes, or generic Miralax almost daily for the last 22 months, I just found out yesterday that my insurance covers it. Are you kidding? That's what I take. I take the generic one too. I've been buying
Mhm.
it all this time. Get out of here. I'm gonna have to ask my doctor about that for
Mhm.
sure. For sure. Is that how you said you found out your insurance? Let's see. Mia says, "Oh no, Cookie, I got the industrial size for my insurance coverage." Y'all, listen, that's some good information because I sure didn't know that.
Mhm.
Beautiful, I'm colored. How are you? Just got home from work.
Hi, Evelyn.
Yes. Yes, indeed. She's been over there working out. Okay. Sometimes I'm looking like, girl, you need to get up. I did do exercise yesterday, and I'm going to do some today before I go to bed. Like, I just got to get back on that exercise trail. Now, I'm gonna ask you. That's my next question. How often do you exercise per week? Let me see. Kim J says, "Well, Shani, I was on track until the GLP-1. Now it just depends. 2 times a day. Wow, but sometimes I don't go a day, then back at it the next. So, do you have a regiment for when you exercise, or
So
you just say I'm gonna make sure I do something 2 or 3 times a week?
yeah, I walk 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
I do 2 days of strength training with weights, and I'm still working on that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I may do like I do squats. I always get in the squats, definitely. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but that is my workout routine.
Mm.
Um,
You'd use a walking pad every day, the five
yeah,
days
for
a
the
week.
five, yeah. Hmm.
Okay, that's good. That's really good. Yeah, I'm waiting for exercise to be muscle memory for me. Can you name one thing you wish someone would have told you before you started the GLP-1? Or is there anything?
I can say I don't want
Come on.
to. I don't want to sound down. So, uh,
Okay, it's okay.
that's why my channel. That's why I'm real talk because I tell the truth. And
Tell it. Tell
I
it.
hated to
Listen.
ask the question, little car queen.
Tell it. Listen, I keep it real. I try my best to be
So
gentle, but I keep it real.
I hate but go ahead, say the question again so I can make sure I'm saying what I need to say for this question. What was the question?
What's Wait a minute, let me go back up here. Let me go back up here now. What do you wish someone would have told you before you started GLP-1?
So my doctor,
Mm-hmm.
she has never steered me in the wrong way at all for all the years I've been going there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when she recommended the Zepbound, she said, "Would you be interested in taking a GLP-1 to help aid in, your weight management?"
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so, of
Mm-hmm.
course, we went over everything, the safety, how should I take the injection? How long would I have to take the injection? And all that good stuff. And she explained that Zepbound was FDA approved for weight management and it
Okay.
was FDA approved for sleep apnea.
Okay.
So once I started, looking up some things on their website to make sure, I saw basically the same thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I wish that I would have known before starting Zepbound was that it is helping people with inflammation.
Mm-hmm.
You probably know where I'm going with this.
No, I
Uh,
don't. Go ahead.
oh, you don't? Oh, okay. So,
And I say that because when I asked my doctor for Zepbound, and she said, um, she told me to use Mounjaro, but she was basing it on me being type 2 diabetic or pre-diabetic. But
mhm.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, you fine. So, I'm trying to watch my words carefully. So, in my mind, I'm I'm going to be taking something to help manage my weight, right? With
Mm-hmm.
having a healthier eating lifestyle, watching what I eat, as well as incorporating physical activity. So in
Okay.
my little mind, that's what I was thinking. And for the first, I think, 4 months, once um, I started, on YouTube and watching different people,
Mm-hmm.
and in the 4 month time span, I started hearing different people say, "Oh, I no longer have pain in my knee." And I watch somebody else and they'll say, "Oh, I no longer have pain in my shoulder."
Mm-hmm.
And I heard somebody say, "I can run up and down the stairs. I think this may make me decide if I want to be a lifer on this medicine." And this is real talk.
Mm-hmm.
That day when I watched that person's replay, I started crying. And my
Really?
husband came in, he said, "What's wrong with you?" And I told him what I was hearing. And he said, "What are you thinking?" I said, "What if all this time I've been doing all this walking on my walking pad? And what if this medicine is treating something that they never could find, right? Inflammation, some type of serious thing." That is what I wish I knew before I started. Because of the simple fact is, if it is treating something, I'm gonna be off the medicine in November. Is that condition gonna come back? That is what I wish I knew.
Okay. I kind of see your point. I do because you realize if I'm hearing you that it if that your inflammation was disappearing as well, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you don't know what could have possibly caused the inflammation in the first place.
That's correct.
Okay. You know, how long, and of course I'm not, what I'm
I
about to
know what you're
say.
about to say. You're not a doctor. You're not a doctor.
So, okay. So were you eating pork before GLP-1?
I
Okay.
haven't had pork in my life since me and my husband got together because he's Seventh Day Adventist and they don't eat pork, so no pork in the house.
Okay. Okay, got you.
So
Well,
the
I know.
reason why I wish I would have known that, the reason why that's my only concern
Mhm.
is, you remember what I started off saying? I was not able to walk or stand more than 5 minutes for 5 years. My family has not been on a vacation because I could not get around.
Wow.
So if this medicine was treating something, right,
I hear what you're saying.
then what's gonna happen when I take that last shot? That is what I wish I would have known, because all I went in was, this is gonna help me manage my weight, right? That is
I
it.
hear you. Y'all put
So
something in the chat. Y'all put something in the chat because I hear clearly what you're saying. I just feel like when you're overweight, inflammation is part of that package. Okay. regardless of the source of it, whether it's pork, whether it's not enough water, whether it's not enough movement, whether it's sitting too long, inflammation is gonna come, period. I mean, like, I've lost a significant amount of weight, but still, when I sit too long, my ankles will start swelling, and I have my vibration plate right under my table
Mhm.
upstairs. So, and I can put my feet on there, turn that plate on, and shake those lymph nodes and stuff up, and of course get up and get moving. But I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't want you to feel like there's some underlying condition that you have, and it might come back. And I hear your worry.
That is my word. That is my concern. That is a major concern for me.
Let me see what's going on in the chat. Losing it Grace says, did the lenses the that lenses
Lindsay,
yes, lenses not work for you?
Grace, I think it works just to keep you from being constipated because I think the Linzess is supposed to. When Shawnee's in the chat, she's a nurse. The Linzess is supposed to keep water in your colon so you won't be constipated when you do go to the restroom. And
Do
I'm
you
not
drink?
constipated when I go to the restroom.
Well, that's good. That's good. Because I was about to ask, do you drink a lot of water? Like, how much water do you take in a day?
Yeah, I was getting in what was it, 90, and then I dialed it back
Hmm.
to like 85.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, doses of Shani is saying you don't want the stool sitting in your colon. Let's see. I'm going through the chat. Let's see. Shani, don't our chances of sepsis increase with less poop? Everybody's worried about that, the poop in the colon. Let's see. Mia says, amen to that, Cookie. Sometimes we don't think to ask, but shoot, I'm trying for everything. Yeah, I would have never thought to ask about that insurance piece about the that fiber stuff. Kim J says, I love when we make a sure what we say, not a doctor. Okay, I love when we make sure we say not. It cracks me up that we even have to be cautious. Yeah, we have to be. People are speaking. Let's see. Kim J says, I know I'm having my doctor order 3 months supply. Oh yeah, I'm definitely. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, as a matter of fact, and so I will be asking about that. Okay, so let me see. People are talking. Let's see. Kim J. Prebiotics, probiotics help with gut health. Yes, and apple cider vinegar. Yes, so many benefits. That's an old school remedy. I love apple cider vinegar. You just have to make sure. For me, I have to make sure that I get the real one. The one that they say with the mother or whatever that
Hmm.
brags,
The
because
rag.
yeah, the other ones are too acidic. Let's see. Yeah, so different things. Let's see. Paula says, so my doctor too. That's how my doctor is too, V. You have a good doctor. Yeah, so I listen, it sounds like with your regimen, I pray that everything goes well, that I mean, basically, I mean, 28 days, that's just phenomenal. Perrin family, how are you? So glad to have you in the building. Y'all, please type get low if you is one word. If you want to connect with any channels, most of us, here all know or familiar with each other. But if you don't know the Perrin family, Nancy is such a wonderful person. Type get low in the chat, Nancy, so that they can that's get low on the carbs, okay? So that they can connect with you, okay? Let's see. Kim says, my doctor's like that too. Pretty cool. She's not asking me to lose more just because of the BMI chart. Yeah. Yeah. Kim J still driving it in the bushes. That's fine, Kim J. I'll see you tonight if you go live. No, I cannot be up tonight. Let's see. Mia says, did you guys hear 2 weeks and Lily is realizing the multi-dose quick pens? I don't know what that is. Oh, okay. Yes. I think Ozempic does. When I was on Ozempic, they had that multi dose. You know, you could twist it to a two or whatever. Um, let's see. She is Tamika is in the building. Hey, Coach T, how are you? Let's see. Somebody says Paula says she heard that people are speaking. Somebody has a question for you. Beautiful I'm Color says, have you already said how many grams of protein you consume on a routine basis?
Um, so I know the app says I think it's 90, but I get like 120, 130 in a day.
That's super. That is super. That's my biggest struggle getting that protein. I was like, unless I become a carnivore, and now for Lent, I'm giving up meat, so I really got to get it together. But you can still eat like seafood and stuff like that. People are speaking. Mia is saying, yeah, hard telling how long it will be. The insurance. She's talking about that multiple pin. Okay, I've got one more question. I'm gonna let you go. Um, what's the biggest mindset shift that the GLP-1 has helped you with?
Oh,
Oh, I mean, like, do you look at food differently? Do you look at exercise differently?
I would have to definitely say the food different. And I guess that goes back to what I was saying earlier about the calorie intake, right? Um, because, this was just my way of thinking for years was,
Mm-hmm.
okay, well, I cook this at the house. Like we eat, I'm just giving an example. So like if I
Mm-hmm.
cook, we had fried chicken and we had some rice or something like that. I can go down the street to Bojangles and get me a two-piece leg combo with dirty rice, and it's good. Not knowing until I started tracking and reading and understanding nutrition facts, I was literally consuming could be 4, 5, 6,000 calories a day. So yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a revelation. I get it. I, and
Yeah.
that can also be with carbs. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Maybe not 2 or 3 thousand, but you know, carbs are just woo. Mm-mm-mm. Tamika was saying that she can go daily when she eats at her grandmom's house. You need to cook like her. Yeah, that's that food that don't have a lot of preservatives, you know? I mean, listen, somebody in my family was talking about accent. I was like, don't buy no accent. That accent is pure MSG. Now, if people buy it, of course you buy what you want to buy. But that's pure MSG, okay? And we all know what MSG does to us. Yes, Nancy's looking at the fact that it covers. So, did you have anything you wanted to say? Because I don't want to keep you here. I appreciate you being here. Um, and yeah, somebody is saying in the chat, Kim J says, to God be the glory that you are healing well, V.
Thank you,
Um,
MJ.
Wellness with Lisa MBA says you're doing great.
And let me just pause. Let me say this real quick. So I was watching Wellness with Liza.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she did some stuff on her channel, but then she also did an interview. And she had me to start thinking again. See, that's why I hate that I'm a thinker. Like I'm thinking because it brings up Hogan stuff.
It's okay.
Um, what she was saying was that she thinks that the Zepbound is also treating HS. I suffer from HS as well.
What is
So
that? What is that?
um, oh, I know I'm gonna say this name all wrong. Hydronitis super something.
Okay.
Liza, if you're in here, can you put that in the chat? And that is a serious condition that causes you to swell up with bumps really bad, where
Mm-hmm.
you're not able to lift your arms, walk. You just can't get around.
Mm-hmm.
And when she was telling her story about that, and I thought to myself, I said, well, here we go again.
Mm.
Now, you see, I got a lot of stuff going on in my head right now. But is that something else that this medicine is helping with for me? So yeah, when her name popped up, I just thought about it and I said I need to just say that because I mentioned one thing, I want to mention the other thing. So yeah, but yeah. But other than that, I really don't have anything else to say. I do appreciate you inviting me to your channel. Yeah.
Oh, listen, this has been wonderful. I do want to say, and listen, guys, and again, I'm gonna say it anyway. I'm not a doctor. most most autoimmune diseases come from stress, y'all.
Mhm.
Things that attack your body. Most of that stuff comes from stress. Y'all just cannot. We cannot let stuff get on our nerves.
Mhm.
Listen. I'm part of what when they used to say what the old folks used to say. I'm
Mhm.
part of. I'm part of the old folks. If you can't do anything about it, then don't worry about it.
Don't
And if
worry.
you can do something about it, then you go ahead on and do something about it and stop worrying. Now, we all have our moments of worrying.
Mhm.
Absolutely. We all have our moments. I was talking to my daughter today, and she was worried about this and worried about that. And I said, I'm tell you what the old folks used to say. I cried because I didn't have no shoes until I saw the
Mhm.
man with no feet. And she just looked like, okay, mom, whatever. We just cannot let stuff worry. And people are sending up prayers for you,
Thanks,
V.
Cookie.
I'm, and let's see. She said, oh, she's asking why. Mia says, why won't you be able to get the meds on your own if you need the meds to be able to walk?
The
Is
only
Darium is
the
go ahead.
only concern, Mia, is when I got laid off in October, I have not found the job yet. But of
Mm-hmm.
course, if I find a job, then that
Mm-hmm.
option is on the table. But as you know, in this economy right now, it's taken a minute for a lot of people to find place of employment because I think it was what reported out 7 to 9 million people lost their jobs last year. So, and
Mm-hmm.
in my state alone, it was
Mm-hmm.
over 70,000.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be the only reason. But you're right,
Yeah.
Mia. If it's affordable for me and my finances, then that's a no brainer.
Yeah.
But right now, that option is not on the table.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you for your honesty in that response. It's Darium is in the building. So glad to
Hi,
see
Darian.
you. Let's see. Losing it Grace says, I missed it. How do I get generic Miralax covered through insurance? Do I ask my provider for a script? Listen, I'm going to ask my doctor about it for tomorrow for sure. People are speaking to Darium. That's our GOP1 king. Let's see. I'm just saying, trying to figure it out so I understand. Oh, okay. Yeah. So, let's see. Let's see. Darium says to V, I say to V, your fears are normal and valid. I would also say continue on your journey because with the changes you're making, you'll be a different person in November. Yes, so eloquent as
Thank you,
usual.
Darian.
Yes, indeed. Beautiful. I'm colored says, this makes sense to me, V. It's a hugely valid concern, and I will be praying. Absolutely.
Thanks,
Absolutely.
Evelyn.
Yes, your concern is valid. When it's about us, you know what I mean? We have to take everything into consideration. And I'm praying that all goes well and that you'll be fine. I mean, you've cracked one of the major codes. You've definitely cracked one of the major codes.
But
Let's
you
see
know
what.
what?
Go ahead.
Let's see if it works. Um, uh-oh. Um, so when all that went down last year, my doctor, she had me to come by her office to get a box of Manjaro 2.5. So
Hmm.
the 2.5 will be the last set of pens that I'll be taking this year. So I don't know if 2.5 gonna hold me off for 28 days.
Wow. Wow. Okay. You have a great doctor for real.
Yes, I do.
Uh, uh, uh. There's not a doctor, not a psychic, not a cheerleader. Certified king. Indeed, indeed. Everybody speaking. Teddy D is in the building. Hey, how are you? So glad to have
Hi,
you.
Kennedy.
Yes, yes, indeed. People are speaking. I see you every now and then. You doing one of those challenges, the knee lift challenge. Let's see. He's saying something to you, V. Miss V, I followed your advice and I bought a coloring book today.
Oh, yes. I'm so glad I was able to help somebody.
Here's Tamika said, that's therapeutic, Teddy. Free your mind. Yes, indeed. Yes. Hello? I am. Yes, indeed. Let's see. Perrin family. I'm struggling to get my protein in as well. Yeah, Nancy. That's I'm I have some good days and bad days. Okay, let's see. Beautiful. Color says, I agree, Coach T. I have a few adult coloring books. Very therapeutic. Yeah. Listen. I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get there. Let's see. Okay, Kim J says, oh, back in the bushes again. Finally headed home. Been ripping and running with my daughter. Had me all over these streets today. I was tired. Thank God I'm on CA time. Otherwise, it'll be bedtime. All right, different people are responding. Thank you. Thank you so, so much. If nobody has any other questions, let's see. Parent family, is it because you're not hungry on the GOP? So people are asking questions. Teddy D says, yeah, Perrin, I saw that carbs add up fast. Teddy D says, yes, I found out they all have types. I get one that is national park themed since I love the great outdoors. Oh, okay. All right. So people are talking about your coloring books. Okay. I'm glad you have Wellness with Liza, and BA says, I've enjoyed this live. I appreciate y'all for coming in so, so much. I'm trying to get through the bottom of this chat. Hey, good evening or morning if you are in another part of the world. I think Liza talked about that when she interviewed Lori. Okay, let's see. So people are talking about different things. They're now talking about the coloring doses of, okay, wellness. She did put that in there.
Thank you, friend.
Let me see. She put whatever that is. Yes. And I'm not going to try. Let's see. Losing the Grace said, I just started. Oh, the parent. Nancy says, I just started GOP once. So I really don't feel the appetite suppressant just yet. I wasn't tracking my foods until about 2 weeks ago. So I didn't know how little protein I was eating. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I didn't even, know about protein until I really stepped into this community. Okay, let's see. Kim, let's see. Now that I know I'm getting enough protein, I'm working on it. Okay, guys, again, I appreciate you so, so much. I hope I haven't missed anybody, but like I said, I don't want to keep real journal talk with V. I don't want to keep you here too long. It's been over an hour. I thank y'all for coming in. Thank you once again. You have enlightened us and helped us, and we're definitely praying that all goes well.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me on your channel. Appreciate you.
All right, guys, I'll see y'all later. Low carb journey, low carb life. I appreciate y'all for coming in too. Y'all know that. Low carb journey, low carb life with your low carb queen. And remember, every day is a new beginning. Bye bye.